A march is being planned tomorrow to show support for people who live in the Wedgwood Village apartments in the Hilltop area. Oh, right now, this water actually came from the church right behind me. Looks pretty clean, right? But when you shake it up, this is what the pastor and his wife found when they just turned on their faucets, and they say that they're not alone. The most intense flu season in a decade appears to be losing some steam. The Centers for Disease Control says the illness has killed an additional 17 children.
While I'm driving Mario Kart,
I have to drive like
right?
this today with my hat on.
You should. That's a great look for you, actually.
Beep, beep. Throwing my banana at you because I look like a banana today, too.
I actually didn't have a banana today. I usually have a banana.
Oh.
You usually
You
do.
look like a banana.
That's
How's
what
that?
I said.
There you
That's what she just said. Were you not
doesn't
paying
listen to me.
I was adjusting my
All right, give us the weather.
Since 17 people were shot to death last month at a high school in Parkland, Florida, the national debate has focused on how to prevent such attacks. In a closed-door meeting, President Trump met with members of Congress and video game industry leaders. I took a closer look at this debate. Columbus Police has hired a new American diversity and inclusion officer. His name is Khalid Bagat. He was born in Egypt and has been an officer for more than 2 decades. Bagat says officers don't always understand immigrant culture and vice versa.
From gold medal to standing right there.
We were talking about Phil. Don't worry about it. All right. Focus, Maria.
From gold medal to center ice.
All right, so we're talking about the way an Olympic team started. With your stomach rumbling, well, that's no fun. So if you're hungry before bedtime, is it okay to grab a snack?
Dietitian.
I'm Jackie Orozco with meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael, filling in for Phil Kelly, who's a little under the weather today. Yes. Next week, the retrial of Bill Cosby begins. The comedian is accused of sexual assault. He appeared in court yesterday for his final pre-trial. Some research suggests that playing violent video games can increase aggression. The violent crime rate has fallen as video games have grown in popularity. And according to the American Psychological Association, or the APA, there's not enough evidence or research to link violent video games to criminal violence. We're now getting more details from the city as we're learning also that Amazon executives will be coming to town. Let's take a listen. The 2018 Oscars are tomorrow night right here on ABC 6. Rick Damigella has a look at how some of the nominees are stacking up. So we're going to do this in real time, no magic TV editing, so you can see the real results. But you are going to have to stay with us because we'll be checking in on our, of course,
Oh, sorry.
on our masterpieces throughout the morning. See, when I have the bunny ears, he has the shaving cream. We're all getting
Everybody's dying
here.
for me to do it. I'm not going to. I'm going to be a nice guy.
Thank you. So keep it here. Phil is going to get back to business and do the top of the sports headlines.
The third time wasn't the charm for Ohio State. Hear from the players. New details this morning in the Central Michigan school shooting. Investigators believe that James Davis shot his parents when they came to pick him up for spring break. Officers say he used his father's gun. Well, right now they haven't released the baby's name, so we're still working trying to figure out the condition of that baby, but we know another person is in critical. Thank you, Elisa. And as everyone's talking about St. Patty's Day, we're also talking about spring break, and it's coming up fast. A lot of schools already enjoying spring break. So what can you do to keep your youngsters occupied while they're out of school? Many companies are using this method now. It's supposed to be quicker and more cost effective. There are bridges right here in Ohio made the exact same way. Eviction notices are going up at a Short North apartment complex, but now neighbors will have more time to figure out what's next. Plans are... If you're sick and tired of potholes like us, well, listen up. Some lawmakers may be here to help your headaches. As West Virginia public school teachers and staff continue their strike, confusion plagues the state legislature. The state said... All right, it's the segment I've been waiting for all morning. She wears the beautiful crown, as you see right next to me, for Miss Gay, Ohio, and she's on a mission. A personal mission to fight autism. Miss Ava Aurora Fox has raised over $3,000 to fight autism. So Ava, why are you so shocked with the guru of swag bags, Lash Fairy? And we have some of the gifts, as you can see right here.
Good spread.
Yes, given to the nominees that we want to share with you. If you're looking for something fun for the whole family to do, how about the circus? The Aladdin Temple Shrine Circus is in town, and we got behind-the-scenes peek at what goes on under the big top. More than 350 students continue protesting after taking over the administrative building at Howard University in Washington, D.C. Top of the morning for you.
There you go.
Do I get it now?
We're on a green construction crew.
I know, where's the other hat? But anyway, Columbus is getting into the St. Patrick's Day spirit. Take a look at Levesque Tower from overnight behind us. It looks pretty good and green, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So get ready to feast your eyes on some new images from outer space.
NASA really.
If your weekend plans consist of curling up on the couch in front of your TV to catch up on your favorite shows, okay, well, you have to pay attention to this because this is your chance to binge watch Netflix and get paid for it.
And again,
There was much worse yesterday.
yeah, it was looking just like it was suet.
Pastor Ron Goodling and his wife Jolena of Lockburn say they knew their water had a foul smell for the past few months. It's at their home and across the street at their church.
We don't know what's the cause of it, but there's something wrong.
It's to the point now where they can actually see the black soot.
I'm sorry, it's unacceptable.
We spoke with other neighbors and they told us their water is fine. That's what the Goodling family thought too, until now.
It looked good coming out. You know what I mean? But all those sedatives are in there that you really can't see. And you know what I mean? And it's building up on inside of all the water lines.
They're sounding the alarm now because they're worried about their health.
I've had headaches really every day, but I can't say it's just the water. But I've had more health issues this year than I've ever had. The water really concerns me.
We don't even let our dog drink the water.
The mayor heard about the stinky situation last night.
As soon as we got into the office this morning, we called Franklin County sanitary engineers to let them know there was an issue.
Sure enough, sanitary engineers came out and checked the fire hydrants a few hours later.
And they said that the pipes for the village are clear and that they think that it could be from the homeowners, but...
If there's several homes.
Right. And we're not aware of that.
The Goodling family says they hope by sharing their foul story,
We flush and flush and flush.
more people will do the same.
If you're having problems, speak up.
Yep. More voices, get things done.
Yeah.
And if we had smell-o-vision, guys, I have to tell you, it is not pleasant at all. And the mayor here says that that's what residents, she's urging residents to give the county engineers a call, especially if they believe that they think that something is in the water. And we have all that information on our website, so you could give them a call. For now, reporting live here in the village of Lockburn, Jackie Orozco, ABC 6 News. One local steel company says that the prices change daily and they can't really predict what the market can bring in the next few months. Here at Buckeye Metal Works, they worry if business will come in on a daily basis.
And you got to take it day by day. If someone walks in the door and wants to hand you $100,000, then you take it. You do the job they want done.
And so far,
if no one's walking in, you got to figure out a way to get it in.
Business is good, booming in fact.
We've done more the past 3 months than we've done probably combined in the 2 years combined of these 3-month periods.
But that may change if President Trump starts what some are calling trade wars, imposing tariffs on steel and aluminum imports as tensions escalate with China and other trading partners.
And I think ultimately, it could be good in the short term for steel workers.
But in the long run, it could mean higher prices for you and me, from canned goods, airplanes, appliances, and much more.
If there's a trade war and in response tariffs are raised in response, then that could even push down our supply of steel because it pushes down the demand.
Low demand means people can lose their jobs too. In 2002, President Bush imposed steel tariffs and companies claimed it wiped out more than 200,000 jobs.
Yes.
Matt Daniel says his family business has survived through the years and is ready for whatever is to come.
This whole business is volatile. No one has any idea. And no one can tell you.
In Columbus, Jackie Orozco, ABC 6 News. The Crew SC will be playing against the Montreal Impact right here at the Maffrey Stadium tomorrow for their home opener. It's a time for excitement and celebration, right? Well, some fans say it may be bittersweet.
Goes over the top.
It's not going to be the last home opener. No, I think a lot of people have mixed emotions about it.
Mixed emotions because Crew owner Anthony Precourt still wants to move his team to Austin beginning in the 2019 season. Mayor Andrew Ginther says the city is ready to negotiate.
We've put specific options on the table. We look forward to working with Mr. Precourt and the MLS in keeping them here, and now we're pursuing all of our other options as well.
The other option, bring this battle to court.
If he wants to violate Ohio law, what we've asked for is an injunction to stop him from doing that.
Earlier this week, the Attorney General and the city filed a lawsuit against Precourt. According to state law, teams cannot move out of the state unless they give the state 6 months notice and give the city or a group of residents a chance to buy the team. Precourt said in a statement he's ready to negotiate.
We've had, no discussions. We will be in court in regard to this.
And some players told us they feel like their hands are tied.
What can we do? Just play soccer, do it as best as possible, win games.
Before the battle goes to the courtroom, you'll see it on the big screen.
It's called Save the Crew, Battle for Columbus.
Tickets nearly sold out for Friday night's premiere.
It's really sort of a love letter to the Columbus Crew. It talks a lot about them leaving, but also what they've accomplished.
Crew fans say this entire journey has been a roller coaster of emotions.
The whole process has been a little nerve-wracking and frustrating and upsetting. So the fact that it had to go to legal proceedings.
In Columbus,
It's 2 for Columbus.
Jackie Orozco, ABC 6 News. Yeah, this is the letter that the auditor sent to the Columbus Board of Education president. The auditor says that if any decisions were made in a back room during the superintendent's search, well, that's breaking the law.
There appears to be some evidence that decisions were taken that it shouldn't have been.
State Auditor Dave Yost says he got a tip that Columbus City Schools board members may have narrowed down their superintendent search behind closed doors.
If you make a decision in the back room and then a few days later you come out and have a vote, that doesn't fix it. You still made the decision in the back room, and that's what we're looking into.
If the board violated the Sunshine Law, meaning something was done in private, the board may have to start the entire process over, and a lawsuit may be looming.
We're so far from that right now. This is the first day we're gathering information because it's all about the facts.
Board members declined to comment on camera, but sent us this statement, quote, "The district believes that there have been no violations of the open meeting laws. The board has been very public and open about the search for our next superintendent. The board has spent $50,000 in the last 7 months during their nationwide search. Interim Superintendent John Stanford is the only candidate remaining. He's never been a superintendent before, but he has been Chief Operating Officer of the CCS district. Last week, one of the finalists, Akron Superintendent David James, withdrew his name.
We're going to get to the bottom of this.
The district also tells me that everything seems to be running smoothly with the interim superintendent taking some pressure off the board, but no word on when a permanent superintendent will be named or if they'll have to start from scratch. For now, reporting live here in downtown Columbus, Jackie Orozco, ABC 6 News. Zanesville is typically known for the Y Bridge. It goes through the Licking and Muskingum rivers, but there's another bridge in the same county that's one of a kind.
This was the bridge that we set that was our ABC bridge in Muskingum County, County Road 7 outside of Roseville.
20 minutes later, this bridge was installed, and in no time, cars zip by thanks to accelerated bridge construction.
Within a week later, the bridge was actually open to traffic, which is unheard of.
This bridge was installed last summer. It's made out of 100% steel, too, something you rarely see on bridges.
That's what was exciting about this bridge.
Muskingum County engineer Doug Davis says accelerated bridge construction is the new way to install and replace old bridges. It saves money and can be essential when natural disasters hit.
These bridges here could actually be pre-made, set in a yard somewhere. So if you had a disaster on the roadway or the interstate system somehow, you could come out and take this bridge, load it up, haul it down there within a matter of days, possibly have traffic back over top of it again.
But are these types of bridges safe? The 174-foot, 950-ton pedestrian bridge in Miami was installed in a few hours before collapsing. Davis says he can't explain what happened in Florida, but says he has a team of workers checking bridges and making the necessary repairs here.
Can't replace every bridge tomorrow, but what we'll do is do some repairs on that structure to make sure it's safe.
There are 15,000 bridges across the state of Ohio and 411 bridges right here in this county alone. ODOT and county workers say they inspect every bridge every year. For now, reporting here in Muskingum County, Jackie Orozco, ABC 6 News. We are are stronger together.
I think if we show our voice enough and we shout enough, people will start to listen.
That's the message these Columbus City students want to make sure everyone knows as they join other high school students across the country in a national walkout.
We all decided that the violence needed to stop. It's going too far. Kids getting killed left and right, school shootings, it needs to stop.
After students at Walnut Ridge High School walked out, they gathered at the gym.
Christopher Hickson, 49 years old.
And read each of the names of the 17 people killed at the Parkland school shooting in Florida 1 month ago.
Peter Wayne, 15 years old.
Teachers empowering students too.
No, walking out is powerful. The real power is manifested by what y'all do when y'all walk back in.
Students at West High School gathered outside on the football field to form this giant hashtag 17.
The main purpose of this event was for the remembrance of the 17 lives lost, but also to promote the phrase that we have, we are safer together.
Students say they know this is not enough.
Ultimate goal is just safety. Yeah, start safer together.
But it's a start.
But we're trying to show them that although all by ourselves, we can still get our message out there. As a whole, we can actually make an impact.
Lisa didn't want to show her face.
I was really nervous and I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
Still very shaken up after she says 2 men knocked on her door claiming to be Franklin County Sheriff deputies.
They led me to believe that if I didn't leave my property, that I was going to be arrested.
She says she's not late on any house payments and didn't know exactly what they wanted.
And these guys definitely have some kind of ulterior motive that's not a good one. I don't know if it's to get in your house and rob you or what their intentions are, but they are out there.
She says they were very persistent on getting her out of her house, but they wouldn't answer any of her questions. That's when she knew something was wrong.
And then I started to feel somewhat intimidated. So my next reaction was I just slammed the door, locked it, and I called the police.
Turns out those 2 men were fakes. Lisa says she's sharing her story not only to warn people from her neighborhood, but anyone who comes face to face with those impersonating law enforcement.
Our deputies are required to mark out with our communication center, let them know they're going to be out of their vehicle and approaching a residence.
Major Steve Tucker says they get calls all the time about people impersonating officers. He says doing something like this is a serious crime, especially after what happened in Kentucky.
And that's very alarming when somebody's actually taking the initiative to pull over an off-duty police officer, impersonating a police officer, and unfortunately that ended tragically.
He says the best thing to do, give them a call.
That gives them the opportunity to get that verification. If it's not a deputy sheriff, we'll dispatch cars to that residence right away.
Lisa says it was a terrifying lesson she will never forget.
I just think that it's very important that everyone stays vigilant about this and question everything. Honestly, question everything.
Jackie Orozco, ABC 6 News. Well, CVS says that this happened unintentionally. Its Caremark division fills prescriptions for people in Ohio's HIV drug assistance program. The plaintiffs claim they got notices in envelopes similar to this one I have right here, and that's when the trouble began. Now, attorneys say CVS should be on the hook for millions of dollars. CVS Health slammed with the lawsuit. 3 men from Defiance, Galleon, Delaware counties, all HIV positive, all blaming CVS for exposing their status.
They're very upset by the breach. Some of them, live in small towns.
According to the lawsuit, the 3 men named John Doe received a letter in the mail last August about their HIV-related prescriptions from CVS. Their attorneys believe as many as 6,000 clients in Ohio got a similar envelope. The problem? It had the letters HIV above their name and address in the envelope window where everyone can see.
As far as we know, this mailing only went to people with HIV. It doesn't seem like a real distinction that would matter to someone who saw this, like a family member or letter carrier, and certainly, that person would not know CVS's explanation that this just refers to a program.
CVS told us protecting the privacy of their customers is their highest priority and went on to say this reference code was intended to refer to the name of the program and not to the recipient's health status. As soon as we learned of this incident, we immediately took steps to eliminate the reference code to the plan name in any future mailings. But Quillen says the damage is already done.
It could be on the order of $36 million, but we need more facts to know exactly what that number would be.
The plaintiff's attorney says CVS has until April 18th to respond to this lawsuit. We tried to get more details from CVS on when customers were notified about this possible breach, but CVS says they will not comment on pending litigation. That got us wondering, what does it take to get the death sentence right here in Franklin County? I found out it takes a lot. When it comes to death penalty cases in Ohio, a jury has to decide if a person will die by lethal injection or die in prison by serving a life sentence. Studies show capital punishment is on the decline not only in Franklin County, but across the state.
You used to have 6 or 7 every year. Now you may get 1 or 2 every year.
According to an Ohio Associate Press review of the death penalty, socioeconomic backgrounds of a jury pool play a huge role in death sentences. The study points out that Franklin County is made up of white-collar workforce, so only 5% of capital punishment cases actually ended with a death sentence. But in Hamilton County, juries tend to be more conservative and sentenced 43% of death penalty defendants to die over the same period. Brian Goldsby's defense attorney, Court Gatterman, explained the overall downward trend.
Since the advent of the option of life without parole, I think that was in 1995, death sentences have gone down in Ohio, and I think the public doesn't like the death penalty as much as they used to. I mean, it's not a deterrent. It costs a lot to enforce.
But some lawmakers are trying to make the death penalty more appealing so victims' families don't have to wait decades for the actual death sentence.
I think myself and some colleagues who do support the death penalty, I think that would be something that we've thought about, and what can we do to try to help streamline the process or make it a process that they can get through the appeals faster.
Many in Westerville are still mourning the deaths of officers Eric Joring and Anthony Morelli. They were killed in the line of duty last month, but now one property manager is telling tenants, take down the blue lights or else we will.
I support our local police department, and I was shocked that I read that because I was not expecting that.
Matt McKay says it's not fair he has to take down his blue porch light because of a policy tenants signed in their lease at Blendon Square Townhomes.
More than likely I'll have to take it out, unfortunately. I don't feel like I should have to, but it's their rules and regulations, I guess.
Blendon Square management did not want to comment on camera, but they told us they have a strict policy when it comes to decorations. Westerville police said the city decided to take down their blue lights and ribbons March 10th, 1 month after officers Eric Joring and Anthony Morelli were murdered. Blendon Square managers say after that, they decided to give tenants an extra 2 weeks to keep their blue lights and ribbons.
That's a national tragedy. So, I just wanted to support what happened because that's just a travesty.
I mean, it feels like just yesterday.
Staff left letters notifying residents to switch their lights from blue to white, or else they'll do it for them on Monday.
It's not hurting anyone, and certainly not hurting the value of the community by having a blue light up.
I don't really have words for it.